Good evening to all of you. I hope all are doing well. First, we will complete the last part of the levy chapter, that is composition levy I will take, and then we will start the new topic. Today's agenda would be approximate 30-40 minutes around we will spend on the composition levy, then we will shift to the place of the supply chapter. So, the composition, if I broadly talk about, there are two categories of composition. Two category means section 10(1) का composition and section 10(2)(a) का composition. Either you will go for 10(1), and if you are not eligible for 10(1), then you will go for 10(2), capital A. What is the difference between 10(1) and 10(2)(a)? The 10(1) was initially, when the GST law was brought into the picture, then it was available since beginning. It is 10(1). Basically, composition is available for three categories of the taxpayer: manufacturer of goods, trader of goods, and in case of the services, only restaurant. So it means you think that we are sitting in the July 2017. At that point of time, let's say I am consultant providing the consultancy services, or I am a teacher and providing the teaching services. Can I opt for composition? You answer, kindly give the answer. Can we opt for composition? Answer would be no, we can't. Because in the services, only one category is available. What is that category? What is that category? Restaurant. So if you are not covered in any of the three categories, then you are not eligible for composition. Then from 1 February 2019, they have given slight relaxation. Slight relaxation in the means, now you are opted composition 10(1), but you can provide a certain amount of the services. You can provide certain amount of services. Certain amount of services means they are saying 10% of the turnover or 5 lakh, whichever is higher, you can provide this amount of the services under 10(1). But suppose if I am not the manufacturer of the goods, trader of the goods, or the restaurant, what I am consultant. Can I opt for 10(1)? Answer would be no. So they have brought into the new concept 10 subsection 2A, wherein there is no categorization. Primarily, preliminary, there is no categorization. We will discuss that there is a certain restriction. Then 10(2)A you can opt, and wherein you can provide any services, any goods, no problem, but the rate of the taxes would be 6%. So 10(1), if you are trader of the goods, manufacturer of the goods, point to be noted, under 10(1), certain category of the manufacturing are being excluded. If you are engaged in the like pan masala, ice cream, you cannot opt for composition if you are the manufacturer of that goods. What are the list? This is the list of certain category of the goods, manufacturing of which is not allowed under the composition. And third is restaurant. And 10(2)A, you can provide any goods, any services. There is an upper limit in 10 subsection 1. 75 lakh would be applicable for Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, and Uttarakhand. And rest of the state, under 10(1), the upper limit is 1.5 crore. And 10(2)A, the upper limit is 50 lakh. What is the rate of the taxes? If you are the trader of the goods, the rate of the taxes is 1%. Ajit ji.
Yes, sir.
Can you allow me to write? Because I cannot see that there is a pen coming on the screen. Can you allow me to write so that I can use my pen?
1 second, sir.
So the trader of the goods, what is the rate? Rate is 1%. Manufacturer of the goods, the rate is 1%. Restaurant rate is 5%. And under 10(2)(a), whether you provide service or goods, the rate will be 6%. Then these are the category of the goods. If you are engaged in the manufacturing, you are not allowed under 10(1). Ice cream, edible ice, pan masala, aerated water, all goods, that is tobacco, manufacturing tobacco, fly as bricks, fly as aggregator, fly as block, bricks of the fossil mill, building bricks, roofing tile, etc. Now, this is the 10 subsection 2. It is talking about if you have opted for composition under 10(1), then you can't do, or this is the restriction. What is the restriction? That save as provided in 10(1), I am not, the composition dealer is not engaged in the supply of the service. Fine. Then the goods or services which are not leviable to tax, he cannot engage. Point to be noted, this is very important, because normally we feel that the composition cannot make the exempt supply. No, sir, it is not written. What is written? Not leviable to tax. What is written? Not leviable to tax. That is restriction. What is not leviable to tax? In the GST, can you give me any example of non-taxable supply? Can you give me any example of non-taxable supply? My request would be everyone. Ayush, Hemant, Mansa, Oja Jini, Vignesh, request would be, please, to the extent it is possible, you kindly type.
Schedule 3 items, sir.
Correct. Answer is no, sir. Non-taxable supply means which are not leviable to tax. What is not leviable to tax? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petrol, 5 specified petroleum product. Apart from that, there is no non-taxable supply, means schedule 3 is neither goods nor services, neither supply of the goods nor supply of the services. It is not a supply at all. But I am talking about not leviable to tax, meaning thereby alcoholic liquor, petrol, etc. So if I'm a composition dealer, I should not engage in providing this alcoholic liquor for human consumption. I should not engage in the petrol, etc. Okay, can I make exempt supply? Answer would be yes. Then question comes, do composition dealer need to pay the tax on the exempt supply? Very important question, and you probably have done this point in the CA Inter. क्या आप लोग मुझे आंसर दे सकते हैं कि can composition dealer make the exempt supply, and if yes, whether he need to pay the tax? Mans absolutely correct, and Oja Jini ji absolutely correct. Great, thank you. क्या composition dealer exempt supply कर सकता है? और अगर let's say if आपका आंसर, if your answer is yes, tell me, can he or whether he is required to pay the GST on that? The answer would be yes, he can. Whether he is required to pay the tax or not, then if you are trader of the goods, you are not required to pay the tax on exempt supply. You only required to pay the tax on taxable supply. Rest every category, if you are a manufacturer or restaurant or you are providing under 10(2)(a), in all situation, you composition dealer have to pay the tax on all supply, whether it is exempted or whether it is taxable. It means only trader are excluded. Manufacturer, restaurant 10(2)(a) has to pay the tax on taxable as well as exempt supply. We were talking about the restriction. The first, he is not engaged in the supply of the service, which is restricted. Otherwise, which is allowed. Apart from that, he cannot make any supply. Then he is not engaged in making the supply of the goods or services which are not leviable to tax. Third is, he is not engaged in making interstate supply of the goods or services. Point is, he cannot. So the point is, he cannot make the interstate supply. अजीत सर नहीं आया अभी तक, मुझे स्क्रीन पर नहीं आ रहा ऑप्शन पेन का.
सर पीपीटी के नीचे आ रहा है.
ओके ओके,
इसके से करना ना, ब्लू वाली लाइन पे आ रहा है सर, एक पेन का ऑप्शन.
मुझे नहीं. ओके ठीक है, मुझे शायद दिख नहीं रहा होगा प्रोबेबली. ठीक है, एनीवे नो प्रॉब्लम. सो ही इज, थैंक यू, आ गया. ही इज नॉट एंगेज इन मेकिंग द interstate supply of goods. Means अगर मैं कंपोजिशन डीलर हूं, I cannot make the interstate supply. Then it is saying that he is not engaged in making any supply of the goods or services through e-commerce operator. Earlier it was only for earlier it was for goods, for services both, but now the category of the goods has been removed. It means if you are composite dealer, you can very well make the supply of the goods through ECO within the state. You can't make interstate supply, correct? Then he is not a manufacturer of the goods as may be notified by the government. So that list we have discussed. He is neither a casual taxable person nor a non-resident taxable person. Proviso says that if you are having the more than one registration, like I am having one pen, but I have the different registration in that pen, then registered person shall not be eligible to opt for the scheme. Matlab, he cannot opt for the composition unless all registered person opt to pay the tax under that subsection. Fine. Then we will discuss certain more condition that the person who is opting the composition scheme, he is neither a casual taxable person nor a non-resident taxable person. Fine. Goods held in the stock on the appointed day. So this restriction was applicable on the appointed day, means when the GST was introduced. There was a restriction that it should not have the interstate trade or commerce or goods imported. It should not be have the in the stock. And where goods held in the stock have not been purchased from an unregistered person, if he has purchased, then he has to pay the tax under 9(4). At that point of time, 9(4) was applicable for all the supply received from unregistered to registered. Then he shall pay the tax. It means in case of the composition, he has to pay the tax under reverse charge, whether it is 9(3) or 9(4). Then again, he was not engaged in the manufacturing of the goods as notified under clause E. We have discussed. He shall mention the word composition taxable person not eligible to collect the tax on the supplies on the top of the bill of the supply. So which document they will issue? Composition dealer will issue the document bill of supply. Can they collect the tax? Answer is no. They have to mention the word composition taxable person on every notice or signboard at prominent place of business and every additional place of business. They have to write on the bill of supply not eligible to collect the tax on the supply. And if they have opted the composition scheme, then they are not required to file the intimation for every year if we like to continue. For this year, if I'm under composition scheme and next year I like to continue under the composition, then there is no requirement to file the fresh intimation. See, for example, I have taken the new registration or I have converted from regular to composition. First time I have to give the intimation. Once I have given the intimation, on continuation of everywhere, there is no requirement of such intimation. Intimation, there is a requirement to give the intimation in the certain CMP forms. This is the matrix of the CMP forms. Practically, you will have the idea. See, theoretically, probably you might not be asked in the exams, but I'm just giving you the practical aspect, and then we will complete our composition chapter. If so, there is a rule 3 sub rule 1, which talks about CMP 01, intimation of the composition, and CMP 03, it means you have to give the stock cut detail. Then suppose this was before, see, when the GST was introduced and I like to opt composition scheme. I am registered in the pre-GST regime, let's say excise, VAT, etc. But I'm going into the GST, and in the GST, I like to opt composition. In that case, there is a requirement to file the CMP 01, that is an intimation to the department that I am opting composition. Plus CMP 03, I have to give the stock cut detail. Why stock cut detail? We have discussed the certain restriction was there under rule 5 at the time of appointed day. Then suppose in the GST, I am under the regular category. I like to opt composition. Can I do? Answer is yes. You have to file the CMP 02. That is again intimation to the department that I like to opt composition. So, but for that, there is a time limit. What is the time limit? I cannot opt composition in between of the financial year. Regular to composition. If I like to switch from regular to composition, I can't do this in between of the financial year. It will be only start of the financial year. In the 17-18, they have given this option, but after that, you have to opt, you have to file the CMP 02 before start of the financial year. Then from the start of the financial year, you will be under composition, and you need to fill the form ITC 03. What is the ITC 03? It is the reversal of ITC. Now you can link with the ITC chapter. Section 18. You remember there is a section 18, subsection 4, which talks about ITC in case of special circumstances. So I am registered under regular category. Now I am going to the composition. Am I eligible to claim the ITC? Answer would be no. So whatever the ITC I have to reverse the ITC. So in detail, we will discuss, or some other faculty will discuss this provision in detail under section 18. But my point is, when regular is converted into the composition, they have to first give the intimation before start of the financial year, and they have to give the ITC 03. They have to submit the ITC 03. What is the rule of ITC 03? Reversal of ITC. Then I am taking the fresh registration in the GST regime. Then while filing REG 01, there is a checkbox. While filing the registration form, there is a checkbox that would you like to opt composition? If I tick, then it is treated as intimation. No other intimation would be required if I am taking the fresh registration. Please note, fresh registration can be taken at any stage. It is not that you have to take only start of the financial year if you like to take registration. If you like to take new registration under composition, no sir, it is not like that. Only restriction is that if you are opting if you are converting from regular to composition, then only there is a requirement that before start of the financial year, you have to give the intimation, and then from start of the financial year only you will be under composition. But अगर मैं नया registration लेता हूं, no problem, you can take at any stage. Do I need to file any intimation? Again, answer would be no, because there is a checkbox. And then if I'm like to opt out from composition, so I am under composition now, I like to go back to the regular category of the registration. I have to file CMP4, that is opt out. Once I will opt out and I will be under regular category, I would be eligible to take ITC. Answer is yes. So 18 subsection 1, it says that you are allowed to take the ITC on goods or capital goods, etc. Then for that, I need to file the ITC 01. What is the requirement for the forms or returns? So composition dealer are required to file 2 return or 2 statement. CMP 08 is the statement, payment of tax. He has to pay the tax on quarterly basis. And after the year end, he has to file the GSTR for annually. There is a separate requirement annual return. The form number is GSTR 9A. Annual return, Rule 80. The form number is the GSTR 9A. But it is optional because since beginning, the GSTR 9A is made optional for turnover having the 2 crore. If you are having the turnover more than 2 crore, then only it is eligible. Then only it is mandatory to file the annual return. So by this, we have completed the composition. Let's do the quick revision for 5 minutes and then we'll switch to the place of the supply chapter. Ready for the quick revision? Ready for the quick revision? Fine. Okay, sir. Thank you. Now tell me. Initially, when the GST was introduced, which service are permitted under composition scheme? Mansa, annual return. See, let me give back. Let me talk you 2 minutes. There is 3 basically form or statement. First is CMP 08. It will be required to file quarterly so that payment of taxes can be made. Second is GSTR 4. It is annually filed. It is required as per Rule 62. It is to be furnished yearly. Earlier it was quarterly. Now the frequency is made annually. But if you use the word annual return, technically I can say the word annual return has been prescribed in the Rule 80. CMP 8 and GSTR 4 are being given in the Rule 62. But if you talk about the composition dealer, the annual return ka form has been given in the Rule 80, which talks about 9A. So अगर मैं specifically बोलूं, word अगर annual return use करूं, not applicable, it is optional. But GSTR 4 भी annually file करना पड़ता है. Please do not think that GSTR 4 is optional. 4 is mandatory for every composition. Is that clear? चलिए सर आगे बढ़ते हैं. Tell me sir, which services are permitted under composition scheme at the start of the GST law? Mansa, GSTR 4 is the return prescribed under Rule 62. It is periodical return, and GSTR 9A, not use the 9. 9A. 9 is the annual return for regular category of taxpayer. 9A is annual return which is prescribed in the Rule 80. That is the difference. Answer to my question. Which services are permitted under composition since beginning? The answer is restaurant service. Restaurant service, right? Now tell me, this was okay. I do agree that it is under section 10 subsection 1. Can you tell me that after that there was an amendment and one proviso was inserted? Tell me that whether composition dealer who is registered under 10.1 can make the supply of the service other than restaurant also. In the current date, अगर मैं 10.1 में registered हूं, तो क्या मैं कोई भी सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर सकता हूं अदर? सी, आई एम रजिस्टर्ड बिकॉज आई वाज द मैन्युफैक्चरर ऑफ द गुड्स. कैन आई प्रोवाइड एनी अदर सर्विस? Can I provide any other service? If yes, then what is the limit? There is a limit. Under section 10.1, I can provide certain amount of services. See, I am eligible to opt 10.1, trader, manufacturer, or restaurant. Correct? Now, can I provide any other service? Answer is yes, you can provide. There is a limit. Tell me, what is the limit? Limit बताइए सर. 10.1 की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. 10.1 की बात कर रहा हूं. No. 50 lakh is not the limit.
% of the revenue, sir.
Then there is a certain two clause, and whichever is lower or whichever is higher was that. I like to ask both two slab. मैं ये बात कर रहा हूं, एक बात तो क्लियर है सर, आपने एक जो स्लैब का कहा ना, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट हेमंत जी, बट it is having one more clause, and whichever is lower or higher we need to see. I need complete answer. You have given the answer 50% absolutely correct. विघ्नेश जी एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, सिर्फ परसेंटेज में थोड़ा सा करेक्शन कर लीजिए. 10% ऑफ द aggregate turnover instead of 5%. It is 10% or 5 lakh, whichever is higher ki lower, whichever is higher ki lower, whichever is higher या lower, whichever is higher या lower, higher. याद रखना. So can I say, please confirm my statement, can I say under 10(1) I can provide any service at least up to 5 lakh rupees? क्या मेरा ये स्टेटमेंट सही है कि मैं अगर 10(1) में रजिस्टर्ड हूं तो मिनिमम टू मिनिमम 5 लाख की सर्विस तो मैं दे ही सकता हूं? इज इट करेक्ट? यस, थैंक यू. वाई? बिकॉज 10% और 5 लाख विच एवर इज हायर, तो इट मीन्स अगर मेरी टर्नओवर कम है, 10% कम आ रहा है, फिर भी 5 लाख की सर्विस मैं दे सकता हूं, बिकॉज विच एवर इज हायर है. कमिंग बैक, कैन यू टेल मी विच कैटेगरी need to pay the tax on taxable? See, tell me one thing, whether composition dealer need to pay the tax on exempt supply? Tell me one thing, whether composition dealer need to pay the tax on exempt supply? बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछा आपसे. Very simple question I asked. Composition dealer need to pay the tax on exempt supply?
No, sir.
Answer is yes.
Why, sir?
Answer is yes, need to pay. Only one category is excluded. Which category? Trader. Trader is required to pay the tax only on taxable supplies. Rest, whether you are manufacturer or you are restaurant or you opted 10(2)(a, you need to pay the tax on total turnover including exempted. Where it is written, the rate of the taxes has been given in the rule 7, and rule 7 use the word total turnover. तो एग्जाम में अगर आ गया, कुछ भी पूछा या कैलकुलेशन आई, तो अगर आप ट्रेडर हैं, इन दैट केस यू नीड टू पे द टैक्स ऑन टैक्सेबल सप्लाईज. बट ट्रेडर के अलावा सभी को, ऑल कैटेगरी को एग्जेम्प्ट पर भी टैक्स देना पड़ेगा. कैन यू क्विकली टेल मी इन द चैट what is the rate of the taxes? Can you quickly tell me the rate of the taxes for composition? बताओ भैया. मानसा, आप तो इंटर में पढ़ चुके हैं ना मेरे से. यू हैव टेकन द क्लासेस इन इंटर, राइट? विघ्नेश, आई ऑल्सो रिमेंबर योर नेम इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. हेमंत, 1% फॉर ट्रेडर, करेक्ट. मानसा, ओके, ठीक है, चलो आपका भी करेक्ट है. व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? ठीक है. विघ्नेश, आपका भी ठीक है. अब मुझे बताइए, 10(2)(a की 1% ऑफ द टर्नओवर फॉर द ट्रेडर, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. ओझा, जिनी, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. यार मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है सभी से, सब लोग प्लीज आंसर करें चैट में. तब देखो, वर्चुअल में एक दूसरे से कनेक्ट होने का और कोई रास्ता ही नहीं है. देयर इज नो एनी अदर वे टू गेट कनेक्टेड टू ईच अदर. ओनली मोड इज रिप्लाई और चैट बाय विच वी कैन इंटरेक्ट टू ईच अदर. तो एटलीस्ट मेरी हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है, इसको कंटिन्यू करिए. इसको आप कंटिन्यू करते रहेगा ताकि मुझे भी लगेगा कि मैं अकेला नहीं हूं, आप लोग मेरे साथ में हैं. ठीक है ना? So now, what is the rate of the taxes? You have not taken 10(2)(a. Is there one more category is there under composition 10(2)(a, and wherein the rate of the taxes was different? Can you tell me what is the rate of the taxes for 10(2)(a? Answer is absolutely correct. Hemant has given the right answer. Vignesh, Mansa, Oja, 6%. Correct. Last question. What is the upper limit if I have opted composition scheme? What is the upper limit if I have opted composition scheme? What is the upper limit of aggregate turnover if I have opted composition scheme? Absolutely correct. Hemant, you have given the right answer. For state other than any state, the limit is 1.5 crore. Please remember the name of the Northeast state, because the name of the Northeast state are different for composition and different for registration. ऐसा नहीं कि रजिस्ट्रेशन में जो 4 स्टेट हैं सिर्फ वही 4 स्टेट के लिए 75 लाख की लिमिट है. If you are covered in the northeast state, then limit is 75 lakh. Remember the name of northeast state in the composition. Other than 1.5 crore. What about 10 to A? What is the limit, upper limit for 10 to A? What is the upper limit for 10 to A? What is the upper limit for 10 to A? 10 subsection 2A. What is the upper limit of annual aggregate turnover for section 10 subsection 2A? Answer is 50 lakh. 50 lakhs. Can composition dealer collect the tax from the customer? Can composition dealer collect the tax from the customer? Answer is no. Do they require to mention somewhere whether this statement that I am not eligible, whether do they need to mention somewhere? If yes, then on which, what is the document they will issue? What is the document they will issue? What is the name of the document which the composition dealer will issue? Absolutely correct, Mansa. Hemant, absolutely correct. The name of the document, yes, they have to mention. And what is the name of the document? It is tax invoice. Is it tax invoice? जो document होगा उसका नाम क्या होगा? Tax invoice? No, sir. It is bill of supply. It is bill of supply. If I have the one pen multiple GST registration, can I take few registration under composition and other under regular category? Can I go for some registration under regular category and some are composition category? Different category का मेरे पास option है क्या? Answer is no, not at all. Not allowed. Which all returns are required to be furnished by the composition or statement? Hemant, absolutely correct. All registration should be under composition or should be under regular category. ऐसा मिक्स वाला ऑप्शन अलाउड नहीं है. मानसा A4 के साथ नहीं है, 9 के साथ है, ध्यान रखना. तो CMP 8 एंड GSTR 4. CMP 8 एंड GSTR 4. ठीक है, वो GSTR 9A एनुअल रिटर्न था जो कि ऑप्शनल है. From regular to composition, can I go at any point of time or there is a time limit? I like to opt out from regular dealer and like to go for composition. Can I go at any point of time in the year? Answer is no. When I have to go? I have to file the intimation. I have to file the intimation when? I have to file the intimation when? Before start of the financial year. And before start of the financial year, let's say 31st March is the start last date. तो 1st April के पहले मुझे वो इंटीमेशन देना है, so that 1st April I will be under composition scheme. Very nice, very nice. I hope we are good to go to the another chapter. Now let's switch to the another chapter, that is place of supply. ठीक है, अब हम place of supply पर शिफ्ट करते हैं. You are able to understand ना whatever we are discussing? ठीक है, everything is okay, fine, great. So now we are starting the new chapter, that is place of supply. Now we are starting the new chapter, that is place of supply. First of all, tell me one thing. Before starting of this chapter, tell me one thing. I am from Delhi, okay? And suppose you are from any other state, let's say Maharashtra, okay? मैं कहां से हूं? दिल्ली से हूं. I am also registered in the GST and you are also registered in the GST, ठीक है? You and me are doing one transaction. I am a supplier, you are a recipient. Transaction can be anything. It can be training, it can be performance, it can be any transaction. But what I'm asking to you, because of this provision of this place of supply chapter, and very important question, this is very important question, not take lightly. I am registered in Delhi, you are registered in Maharashtra, we both parties are registered in the GST, we are doing the business transaction, for which the place of the supply is Delhi. I am raising the tax invoice. Place of the supply chapter tell me the POS is Delhi. Okay. You are saying to me that you should raise the tax invoice. Perfectly okay. I am raising the tax invoice. Now you are saying my GST number should be there. I have mentioned your GST number. Also, you are saying that this should appear in my GSTR 2A 2B, whatever it is. So when I have filed my GSTR1, I have mentioned your GST number, selected the place of the supplies Delhi. Now tell me, when I am raising the tax invoice to you, which tax I will charge? Will it be IGST or will it be C plus S? Very, very important question. Will it be IGST or will it be C plus S? Each and everyone has to give the answer. Each and everyone has to give the answer. Okay. What is the location of supplier in my example? What is the location of supplier in my example? Just I like to make sure that you all have understood my question correctly. What is the location of supplier? Supplier. Hemant, supplier मैं हूं, तो मैं दिल्ली से हूं. What is the place of the supply I have used in my example? What is the place of the supply I have used in my example? What is the location of recipient? What is the location of recipient? Perfect. So I am from Delhi. I am supplier. I am raising a tax invoice to Maharashtra party. It is a B2B transaction. I am mentioning the GST number by virtue of any provision, the place of the supply is Delhi. Now again tell me which tax I will charge on my this tax invoice. Which tax I will charge on my invoice when I am raising the invoice to you. Requesting everyone to give the answer. Very important question. And based on your answer, it is really important. It is really important. You all are saying IGST. I am not confirming right now whether it is correct or not correct. Before that, I like to explain two definitions. Suppose I am saying this transaction is interstate, then which tax will be charged? Suppose by virtue of the definition of interstate supply, this transaction is interstate, then which tax will be charged? IGST. And second situation, let's say by virtue of the definition of intrastate supply, section 8. Let's say by virtue of the section 8 का definition, it comes to intrastate supply. जो ये transaction का discussion कर रहा हूं, assume that it result into the intrastate supply, then which tax I will charge? All are correct. CGST and SGST. Correct. So can I say one thing, that which tax will be charged? Well, will it be I or will it be C plus S? I have to prove that what is my transaction. Is it interstate or intrastate? करेक्ट बात है ना? इज इट करेक्ट ना? अगर मैं प्रूव कर दूं कि मेरा ट्रांजेक्शन इंटर है तो आंसर आई आएगा, और मैं अगर प्रूव कर दूं कि मेरा ट्रांजेक्शन इंट्रा है तो सी प्लस एस आएगा. एम आई राइट? इन द गिवन केस, जो मैंने एग्जांपल दोस्त आपको दिया था ना, whatever the example I have given ना, the answer is CGST and SGST. The example which I have given to you, the answer is C plus S. It is not I. Why, sir? Let me discuss. In my example, location of supplier was Delhi. Place of the supply was Delhi. And location of recipient was Maharashtra. Prima facie, what we are treating now, prima facie, what we are treating, that for deciding कि ट्रांजेक्शन इंटर है या इंट्रा, वी आर लुकिंग दीज टू लोकेशन. See, this is a basic requirement. As per the nomenclature, as per the normal layman understanding, the people are thinking that not go to the bill to ship to model, not go to any other model, make it very simple. We have the various permutation combination. For goods, there is a bill to ship to model. For services, there is a 14 category, 14 subsection. We will discuss each and every provision. But मैं तो आपसे एक बेसिक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूं कि जब आपके पास में ये तीन चीजें हैं, when you have the three location, supplier का location, recipient का location and POS, then normally we are checking the supplier and recipient ka location to give the answer which tax would be charged. But which we need to see the supplier ka location and POS to decide whether it is inter or intra. It means once you decide the place of the supply is very technical term. It will be by virtue or with the help of 10, 11, 12 and 13. We will discuss 4 sections in detail. We will discuss 4 sections in detail, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then the place of the supply can be determined. Once you determine the place of the supply, please remove from your mind that what is the recipient location. Please remove from your mind that what is the recipient location for what purpose, to decide whether it is interstate supply or intrastate supply. Whether it is interstate supply or intrastate supply. It means, now let me go to the definition. Section 7 of IGST Act says that subject to the provision of section 10, okay, that is supply the goods, where the location of supplier, it means LOS, and place of supply, EOS, are in two different states, two different union territory, or one state or one union territory, shall be treated as supply in the course of interstate trade or commerce. 7.1 is for goods and 7.2 is for services. Again, you can read the provision. Supply of the goods imported into India. 7.1 and 2 is for goods and 7.3 and 4 is for services. Let me go once again. One minute. Let me go to the 7.3. Subject to the provision of section 12, supply of the service when the location of supplier and place of the supply are in two different states, two different UT, one state, one UT. In my example, what was the location of supplier? Sir, it was Delhi. Can you tell me what was my place of supply? It was Delhi. Now, whether you apply the goods or services, it says that when the location of supplier and the place of the supply in two different states. In my example, is it in two different states? क्या मेरे एग्जाम्पल में दो अलग अलग स्टेट में है? एक बार मुझे कंफर्म कीजिए, मेरे एग्जाम्पल में लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर एंड प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई दोनों अलग अलग स्टेट में या सेम स्टेट में?
It is in the same state.
It is in the same state and therefore it is not inter. Why? Because interstate says that it should be in the two different state. It should be into the two different state. Okay. So this is my starting of the chapter. It is not place of the supply come into consideration. No, Mansa. Place of the supply will have to be calculated in every transaction. Whether you have the recipient ka location or you do not have the recipient ka location. You have to calculate in every transaction, then only you can decide my transaction is inter, then I need to charge I, or my transaction is intra, then I need to charge C plus S. How it will be decided? It will never be decided based on the LOR. Going forward, make thumb rule. Going forward, make thumb rule. Before answering the question which tax will come, before answering the question which tax will come, you please calculate the place of the supply in your mind, on your paper, wherever you want. Write the section and subsection. Write the section and subsection. What is the place of the supply? Is it according to 10? Is it according to 11? Is it according to 12? Is it according to 13? 10 subsection 1 के कारण है, clause A के कारण है. You all have to calculate the POS. Once you calculate the POS, then only jump which tax will be charged. And one thing, make sure location of recipient will remove from your mind. What is the step to decide which tax to be charged? First, you decide location of supplier, location of recipient if possible, then calculate the POS according to the respective principle 10, 11, 12, 13. And once you have the POS, remove from your mind LOR, see these two locations, LOS and POS, and then calculate whether it is inter or intra and accordingly charge the taxes. Mans and everyone, I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear. एक बार quickly confirm करना so that we can move to the next discussion. ठीक है, fine. Thank you. Thank you. At least you are giving the reply and you are chat. You are very active in the chat. Once again, no problem. I will repeat. See, which tax will be charged? Will it be I or will it be C plus S? You will not give the answer till the time you have the POS. How to calculate the POS? That we will discuss in today and tomorrow class. But you will write in your mind or on your paper. Before deciding which tax to be charged, you should write place of the supply and according to which provision. Will it be 10, 11, 12, 13 and which subsection? Write that what is the place of the supply, let's say Delhi. Then only, and then once you decided the place of the supply, remove from your mind what is the location of recipient, which tax will be charged, completely ignore the location of recipient, remove from your mind, then which two location you will see? LOS and POS. LOS and POS for deciding whether it is inter or intra. ठीक है, कंफर्म करना एक बार मानसा so that I can move to the next part. ठीक है, आते हम लोग. Thank you. Now we'll move to the 7 subsection 5. ये क्या कहता है? 7 subsection 5 says, see, 7.1 is clear, 7.2 is for import of goods, 7.3 is for normal service, and 7.4 is import of service. Fine. 7.5 says, if location of supplier is in India, POS is outside India. 7 subsection 5 says that in below 3 cases, always it will be interstate. 7 subsection 5 says that always it will be interstate when first, if the supplier is in India, place of the supply is outside India. Please note 7.5 is applicable for 7.5 is applicable for goods as well as for services. I like to listen this point only. I like to listen this point only. Hello, एक बात बताइए. Can I say that first transaction is of export? What do you think? Can I say that first transaction will always be export? First transaction will always be export. Can I say? First transaction will always be export. Can I say this? चलो सर बात करते हैं. तो एक्सपोर्टर सेल्स ये गुड्स पर भी एप्लीकेबल और सर्विस पर भी एप्लीकेबल है. एम आई राइट? इट इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर सर्विसेज ऑल्सो. एम आई राइट? बोथ. फॉर गुड्स I do agree with you. For goods, primarily I can say I am agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. For goods, there is no problem, not too much problem. But for services, it is not necessary. See, in the export or service, there are 5 conditions. Let's say I am making the supply the service to the party located out of India, and he is making the payment in Indian rupees. Will it be export of service? Answer is no. See, these 2 conditions are satisfied, sir. I am supplied in India. Assume the POS is outside India. क्या ये export of service होगा? नहीं सर, बाकी condition देखनी पड़ेगी ना. Whether amount is being received in the foreign currency or not, blah blah. We'll discuss all the condition. So, meaning thereby, clause A may be export or may not be export. If it is goods, then primarily answer would be yes. That is also primarily answer. And if it is service, then we have to see 3 more conditions. तो कहने का मतलब क्या है? 758 does not mean that it will always export, but yes, one guarantee is always there. It will be interstate supply. एक गारंटी कंफर्म्ड है कि ये हमेशा इंटरस्टेट होगा. It can be export, it can be domestic transaction, no problem. But I can say 7.5 says that below 3 transaction will always be interstate. पहला क्या हुआ? जहां पे सप्लायर इंडिया में एंड POS is outside India. What is the second transaction? SEZ unit or SEZ developer. SEZ unit or SEZ developer. So I myself is going to take the class of export import chapter whenever it will come. I think it will come in January approx. I have taken 2 classes, and then again the Vishal sir or any other faculty would be there, and again I will come back. At that point of time, I will discuss this point. So just highlight that in the 7.5, 2 as well as buy, both are covered. It means if I am SEZ unit and you are outside SEZ, whether I am making the supply to you or you are making the supply to me, both the transaction are interstate supply. Both the transaction are interstate supply. But when you make the supply to me, it will be the 0 rated and it will be considered as equal to export. But when I will make to you, it will not be export. Correct. So various permutation combination we will discuss in the export import and different chapter. But याद रखना सिर्फ इतना point कि 7.5 में 2 as well as buy both are covered. Third is the transaction is happening in the taxable territory, plus it is not defined intrastate supply and not covered elsewhere in the section. Meaning thereby, first, the transaction is happening within India. Second, the transaction is not intrastate supply. Third, that it is not covered elsewhere. Then I can say it will be treated as intrastate supply. Let me give you one homework. I will really appreciate your effort. I will really appreciate your effort if you can bring any example by tomorrow. Can you bring any example for 75C by tomorrow? मैं रियली अप्रिशिएट करूंगा, सैल्यूट करूंगा आपके नॉलेज को, आपकी मेहनत को, आपके एफर्ट को, इफ यू कैन ब्रिंग मी one example for 75C. You try to identify, it is residuary clause, primarily residuary clause, but I can still say that you can identify one transaction. ठीक है, try करना, it is a residuary clause. Now let's move to the section 8. प्लीज आप सभी को ट्राई करना है, सभी हाँ बोलिए ना, everyone who are in the class, everyone, ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ एक या दो पार्टिसिपेंट. आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम एवरी पार्टिसिपेंट. आयुष, ओझा, पूनम, विघ्नेश, फ्रॉम एवरीवन आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग. दिस इज योर होमवर्क एंड विच यू विल गिव मी द आंसर टुमारो. ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स मूव टू द सेक्शन 8. सेक्शन 8 says that again, if the location of supplier and place of the supply both are in same state or same UT, then it will be considered as intrastate supply. Which are not considered as intra? If you are making the supply to SEZ, you are purchasing the goods from SEZ. Suppose SEZ is in Noida, Noida is in Uttar Pradesh, and let's say I am from outside, I am from Kanpur, but outside SEZ. So Noida and Kanpur both are in the same state, UP, but it will be IGST. Agreeing now? Because whenever you are making the supply to the SEZ unit or purchasing from SEZ unit, then it will not intra, it will always inter. Okay. Similarly, import of goods across custom frontier of India and supply made to the international tourist. So if I'm making the supply to the international tourist within India, then it is not intra, it will be the interstate supply. Now, subsection 2 says subject to the provision of section 12. अगर supply the service में वही LOS and POS same state में, तो it will be intra. SEZ, again, that part is being excluded. Now, you read the explanation 1 and 2, no problem, but actual practical discussion I will do in the export, import and refund chapter.
Sir, how to know a tourist, sir? How to know where? Can you ask the passport? I think it's not.
Yes. He has to provide the passport ka copy only.
Okay,
Then
sir.
only you can identify the international tourist. And in the GST, there is a provision that international tourist can take the refund at the international counter. If he is taking the goods from India to out of India, on which IGST is being charged, then he can produce the document and the refund would be granted. It is, as of now, it is only the provision. Relevant mechanism is not yet developed by the GSTN, by the GST law. Law has been provided, section 15, provision is being there, but practical, there is a difficulty. But answer would be yes, he has to provide the passport, then only supplier can come to know that he is an international tourist. What is the explanation 1 and explanation 2? It says that if you have the establishment in India and any other establishment outside India, you have the establishment in a state or any other establishment outside that state, or you have the establishment in one state and any other establishment within the state, then these establishment shall be treated as establishment of distinct person. My question to you, can you tell me what is the meaning of distinct person? Normally कहीं पढ़ा होगा ना आपने, distinct person का मतलब क्या होता है? Chat में आंसर दीजिएगा, so that everyone I can see the answer in the chat. Can you tell me what is the meaning of distinct person? यार कहीं पढ़ा तो है, मैंने भी पढ़ा है, but I missed. I am not able to recall. What is the meaning of distinct person? Yes. Multiple pen under one registration, is it? requesting everyone to give the answer. Only one or two will not suffice. One PAN, multiple GST number. Multiple registration under one PAN. Okay. Requesting everyone to give the answer. Requesting everyone to give the answer. Multiple registration under one PAN. That is the concept of distinct person. Okay. The same thing is saying a person carrying on the business through the branch or agency or the representational office shall be treated as having the establishment in that territory. Prima facie, you are not able to understand very clearly explanation 1 and 2. But when I will explain the chapter of export and import, in case of the export of the service, section 2+6 of IGST Act, it talks about the 5 conditions. And the 5th condition are linked with the explanation to the section 8. So अभी के लिए मैं आपको explain ज्यादा नहीं करूंगा. I will pick again because export import chapter has been assigned to me only. I will again discuss when I will discuss the relevant chapter. ठीक है, let's move further. Location of the recipient of services and location of supplier of services has been defined in the GST. Location of recipient of goods, location of supplier of the goods not defined in the GST because goods are physical. We can understand, we can identify, but the services are intangible. Therefore, they have defined. What is the location of recipient? Location of recipient means if the supply received at the place of the business for which registration is obtained, then that location. If they have received the service at establishment elsewhere, then location of that establishment. Or if it is more than one establishment, then location of the establishment which is most directly concerned. And in the absence, suppose not able to decide, then in that case, usual place of the residence of that district. Same pattern may, in the same pattern, location of the supplier, the service has been defined that if the supply is made from place of business for which registration has been obtained, then that location, otherwise fixed establishment, then location of that establishment. If more than one establishment, then most directly concerned. And in the absence, then usual place of the residence. If you read the definition of the usual place of the residence, it says that other than individual, the place where they have obtained the registration, like it is a company, it is a partnership firm, then obviously we have the partnership deed. So address which has been given at the time of registration of the partnership firm or at the time of registration of the company, that place. And in case of the individual, usual place where he reside. Now let me start the place of the supply chapter. अभी तक हमने सिर्फ डिस्कशन किया था few definition का. अब हमारा place of the supply का chapter start हो रहा है. Place of the supply का chapter start हो रहा है. There are 4 sections which we will cover: section 10, section 11, section 12, and section 13. One point that in the place of the supply, all provision we will discuss of IGST Act 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 14, whatever the provision are being discussed, that is related to the IGST Act. तो इस चैप्टर में जो भी हम सेक्शन का बात करेंगे, जो भी हम रूल्स का बात करेंगे, all are pertaining to IGST Act or IGST rules. Now, what is the difference between 10, 11, 12, 13? So 10 and 11 are for goods, 12 and 13 are for services. Perfect. Now, what is the difference between 10 and 11? 10 is the domestic transaction, 11 is the export import. Fine. What is the difference between 12 and 13? 12 is for domestic or 13 for export import? No. Answer is no. Please never say this. If you like to try to understand basic thing, this is okay. 12 is the domestic, but 13 is the export import. But technically, this is not correct. Why not correct? Because you cannot decide export of the service till you have the POS. एक बात समझिए, आप क्या कर रहे हैं? What we are doing? We are calculating the POS. For calculating the POS, should I use the 12 or should I use the 13? Can I say that is for domestic I will use 12 and export I will use 13? No. Why no, sir? You are deciding POS. Once you have the POS, then only you can say the transaction is export. So before POS, you can't say whether it is export or not. So therefore, never say technically that 13 is for export and 12 is for domestic. Never say. If you will ask me, I will say you are not correct. Technically, you are not correct because now we are the student of the final. We should be very technical. So what is the difference? Now they are saying 12 would be used if supplier and recipient both are in India. 13 when supplier and recipient any one party is outside India and any one party is in India. Suppose I am a supplier in India, you are a recipient. If I am in India, you are outside India, and we are doing one transaction of service. Which section I will apply to determine the POS? Section 13. Suppose you are in India and I am outside India and I am providing the service to you, then also it will be decided according to section 13. But if we both are in India, then answer would be section 12. ठीक है? अब मैं हेमंत आप क्या कह रहे हो? बोथ द सेक्शन में समझा नहीं. आई थिंक आई हैव सीन योर चैट लेट. चलो एक मुझे क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिए. नाउ यू कैन टाइप इन द चैट. एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिए. सपोज आई एम इन इंडिया, you are also in India. You are having one property in London. You are saying, sir, kindly arrange to provide some interior service over there. Let's say I am an interior decorator. Now I am arranging my staff, my team to provide the interior decoration service at London. Clear? It is goods or service? Answer is service, na? It is goods or service? Service. Which section I will use to determine the POS? Now I have to see what is the POS, whether POS is in India, outside India, I don't know. I'm asking whether I will apply section 12 or I will apply section 13. Whether I will apply section 12 or I will apply section 13. I am from Delhi, you are from Maharashtra, you are having one property in London, my team is providing interior decoration service at London, I am raising the bill to you. Tell me which section I will apply to determine the POS, 12 or 13. एक बार वापस रिपीट दीजिए, रिप्लाई कीजिए. Which section I will apply to determine the POS? हेमंत, मानसा, ओझा, एवरीवन एक बार वापस आंसर दीजिए. क्वेश्चन क्लियर नहीं है? लेट मी आस्क अगेन. I am from Delhi, you are from Maharashtra. I am raising one tax invoice to you. What is the nature of service? You have one property out of India. I have sent my team out of India and provided the interior decoration service over there. Team has come back, then I have decided that it will be 5 lakh rupees. So I am raising the invoice to you. Will I will apply section 12 or 13? क्लियर है क्या हेमंत? अभी क्लियर है ना, या अभी भी क्लियर नहीं है? Can't say. Okay, fine. Okay, give me 3 answer. What is the location of supplier? The person who is raising the bill, right? What is the location of supplier? Is there any doubt? What is the location of supplier? No. What is the location of recipient? What is the location of recipient? Location of recipient. Go back. If I am raising the invoice, place of business for which registration has been obtained, I am raising the invoice to you by showing your address, Maharashtra address, for which you have taken the registration. Then I will say your location would be the POS. If I am providing the service on the fixed establishment elsewhere, then there would be the another answer. But I'm saying that I will raise the invoice to you. So in this case, the supplier का location and recipient का location both are in India. Supplier as well as recipient both are in India. Property is outside India. Property is outside India, but POS decide करने के लिए will I apply 12 or will I apply 13? The answer would be 12 because both are in India. Let me ask one example. I am going to London. ठीक है. I have taken one ticket from Delhi to London from Air India. ठीक है. Now I have taken the return ticket also when I was in London. I have booked return ticket from Air India from London to Delhi. Given my address, which is of Delhi, tell me, will section 12 would be applied or 13 would be applied? Flight being starting from London and till Delhi. From London to Delhi, I am booking one ticket from Air India. Which section Air India will apply to decide POS? Which section Air India will apply to decide the POS? 12 or 13? Section 12 or section 13? Again, to decide why we are deciding POS. एक बार मुझे बताएंगे हम POS क्यों डिसाइड कर रहे हैं? Why we are deciding POS? Why we are deciding POS? Correct. To check whether it will be interstate or intrastate. To decide whether it will be IGST or C+S. Correct ना? सप्लायर कौन सा टैक्स चार्ज करेगा इनवॉइस पर, इस बात पर डिपेंड करता है कि वो इंटर है कि इंट्रा. तो उसे सर्विस के केस में पीओएस के प्रोविजन अलग अलग है, सेक्शन 12 की सेक्शन 13. देन ही विल गो टू द सेक्शन 12 का रेस्पेक्टिव प्रोविजन, सेक्शन 13 का रेस्पेक्टिव प्रोविजन. देयरफॉर वी आर पिकिंग व्हिच सेक्शन supplier will use to decide the POS. The answer would be 12 if both parties are in India, 13 if any one party is outside India. Now let me take a break of 10 minutes. हम 10 मिनट का ब्रेक लेंगे. We'll resume at कितना हुआ 7:25. 7:25 we will start section 10. 7:25 पर सेक्शन 10 स्टार्ट करेंगे. अजीत जी 10 मिनट का ब्रेक लेते हैं, एक बार स्टार्ट कर दीजिए ब्रेक. ठीक है. ठीक है sir. So now we were talking about section 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me start with the section 10. 10 is the place of the supply for deciding the goods which are being supplied within India. Section 10, when you supplier and me customer, if supplier and customer supply are within India, then section 10 would be applied. These section 10 are being divided in 6 provision, 6 category of the provision. First is say that when the supply involve the movement of the goods, when supply involve the movement of the goods, the movement can be caused by the supplier or by the recipient or by any other person. The movement can be caused either by supplier or by recipient or even by any other person. Let's for example transporter. It is immaterial. What is the POS? Location of the goods at the time at which movement terminate for delivery to the recipient. Example, where I will take 3 examples. Let me start with the first basic example. I am located in Delhi. You are located in Maharashtra. You need 10 laptops. I am the manufacturing company of the laptop. So you have given the order to my company. My company has arranged the delivery, let's say through courier or by hand. Deliver the goods at your location. What will be the POS? Maharashtra. Why? Because the location at which goods are terminated for delivery to the recipient. Perfect, no problem. Second example. Now this time I am not sending the goods to you. You are coming and you are purchasing the goods at my counter. So basically you have taken the delivery of the goods at my counter. Does it mean that the delivery has been terminated to the recipient at my counter? If this is the case, then place of the supply will be my counter. No. Why? Because it says that if the goods involve the movement, whether by supplier or even by recipient, try to understand the logic. Try to understand why they have added the word recipient. Over the counter delivery, will it be intrastate supply? Answer is no. It will depend whether goods are being moved or not. Let's say you are moving the goods and you have provided the EV bill to me. Sir, I am taking the goods to my location, that is Bombay. Then also the location at which the goods terminate the moment. It is not my counter. It will be the ultimate your address, ultimate your location of Maharashtra where the termination happened. And after that goods will not be moved. Correct. So sometime by looking the POS, it appears that the goods at which the movement terminate. So over the counter sale will always be intra. That is not correct. Because even in case of intrastate supply, you are moving the goods. Because the provision says that when the recipient or supplier or by any other party. So therefore, in all such cases, the ultimate location where the delivery terminate, that will be the POS. Now, there is a big normal concept frequently used in the business, that is bill to ship to model. What is the bill to ship to model? It means I am raising the bill to party A, but I'm making the delivery somewhere else. It has been explained with the example, study material का example ही मैंने लिया. I'm taking the same example of study material only. What is that example? Supplier is in Delhi and customer is in Delhi. Sorry, first A is a supplier. A is a supplier who is located in Delhi, and B is the customer of A. B is the customer of A located in Haryana. Fine. If let's say Delhi wala party is raising the bill to Maharashtra, Haryana party, and he is also making the delivery at Haryana, what would be the POS? Very simple. The location at which the goods terminate Haryana. Now the goods are terminated in Delhi only, and after that there is no movement of the goods. You B saying kindly deliver. B saying to A, kindly deliver the goods to C in New Delhi only. 10(1)B says, if it is the case that goods are being delivered at some other place, goods are being delivered at some other place because A is raising the invoice to Haryana party, is raising the bill to Haryana, but Haryana party, Haryana customer is saying, please deliver to somewhere else. So let's say I am making that, A is making the delivery to C location. A is making the delivery to C location. So ultimate supplier, when he is making the delivery at some other location as per the instruction of the customer, then it will be treated. The place of the supply will be the principal place of the business of Haryana party. The principal place of the business of B, that is Haryana. So in that case, when A will raise the bill to B, even though the goods are delivered at Delhi, but the place of the supply according to 10(1)B, it will be Haryana, and because supplier is located in Delhi, place of the supply is in Haryana, so therefore it is interstate supply or intrastate supply. Is it inter or intra? The answer would be interstate supply. Answer would be interstate supply. So it is not that ki bill to ship to model will always be B2B or B2C, but problem is now they have made one new provision for B2C supply. Now they have made one new provision for B2C supply. So what is the logic, sir? Logic is Hemant, if suppose I will not make the place of the supply to Haryana, then this particular party, Haryana party, see, this is a business transaction. So suppose let's Hemant, एक बार बात करते हैं. I am in Delhi and you are in Haryana, and you are having one customer in Delhi. So if I will raise the invoice to you and show the place of the supply delivery location, you will not be able to take ITC. So ITC become cost to you. The taxes which I will charge, it become the cost to you. If it is cost to you, then you will never do this transaction. Otherwise, what happen? I will have to deliver the goods to Haryana and you will again send to Delhi. It is transportation cost, time taking, possibility of the losses are there. So this is a business transaction bill to ship to model. And if the ITC will be the loss, then no one will be able to do this transaction. And therefore, 10(1)B says that POS would be the party who is giving the instruction to you, so that he can take the input tax credit mainly. When we are delivering the goods to Delhi as per the instruction of B, right? In this example, this worked. So B is saying to A, kindly deliver to C. So what is your question, or you just need understanding? Any question or? नहीं, कोई क्वेश्चन है तो बता दीजिए, नहीं तो नहीं मैं मूव करता हूँ. तो ठीक है, यहाँ पर तो मुझे क्लियर हो गया कि द प्लेस ऑफ द सप्लाई विल बी द डिलीवरी लोकेशन. नो सर, द प्लेस ऑफ द सप्लाई विल बी द पर्सन का प्रिंसिपल प्लेस हु गिव्स द इंस्ट्रक्शन. नाउ 10(1)C. If the goods does, like we are sending Rakhi to the state, like through Amazon. Just wait for a minute. Oja Jini ji, or Amazon, Flipkart, etc. B2C supplies, they have made one new provision. They have made one new provision 10(1)(CA because of this Amazon, Flipkart ka transaction. Yes, yes, Mansa. This will be applicable to last provision. 10(1)B will be applicable in case of the bill to ship to model only. 10(1)C, when the supply does not involve the movement of the goods, then location of the goods at which the delivery to the recipient. You tell me, what would be the example? Can I say? Just correct me. I have this immovable property, मेरा ये property है, and I am selling this complete property to you. Will it be the perfect example for 10(1)C? क्या ये example सही है ना? If I am selling the immovable property to you because it does not involve the movement, then this would be the perfect example for 10(1)C. तो जो भी property का location है, that will be the place of supply. Am I right? Just confirm. मैं सही समझ रहा हूं या गलत समझ रहा हूं? थोड़ा सा कुछ catch point है. In this question, there is one catch point which you need to pick and then give me the answer. I am selling one this is my property. Complete properties belongs to me. I have sold the property to you. Can I say this is the example of 10(1)C? क्या ये एग्जाम्पल है 10(1)C का? इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है ना? ये परफेक्ट, बिकॉज इट डज नॉट इन्वॉल्व द मूवमेंट. प्रॉपर्टी को सेल करूंगा तो मैं ऐसा थोड़ी यहां से उठा के मैं आपको दे दूंगा. थैंक यू सो मच आयुष. Thank you so much, Ayush. Ayush has clearly pointed out that, sir, kindly recall the definition of the goods. What is the goods? Yes, Mansa has also highlighted the point. If I recall the definition of the goods, it says that every kind of movable property. Therefore, we can say immovable property is not the goods. Then how it can be the example of 10(1)C? So एक बात तो clear है, 10(1)C cannot cover the immovable property का example. Do you agree with me कि 10(1)C में immovable property का example तो cover नहीं हो सकता because immovable तो goods ही नहीं है sir. Then how can be it will come under the place of the supply for the goods? What could be the example? Now let's say, now I am giving the example. I am the teacher. ठीक है. I am having this property, correct? And I have sold the property to you. This is not goods. But let's say this property also having the air condition. This property also having the furniture fixtures. This property also having the table, chairs, etc. Which I have also sold to you. It is movable item, na? Air condition, table, furniture. These are the movable item, right? So when I am selling the movable item to you, it is goods. But after the sale, will there be any movement? No, sir, there will be no movement. So therefore, this will come under the example of 10(1)C. The goods are lying at this location. At the time of sale, it will not involve the movement. So therefore, this, whatever the location is there, that will be the place of supply. एक बार confirm करो, clear है ना 10(1)C? 10(1)C clear है ना? ठीक है. अब देखो, ये एक अमेंडमेंट है 10(1)C और मुझे लगता है आपका जो प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन आएगा ना, बड़ा क्वेश्चन, उसमें 10(1)CA का पार्ट पॉसिबल है, हो सकता है. It could be the, and Mr. Oja, that you ask one question. I think you have asked the one question, na? हाँ, ये Amazon वाला example, राखी वाला example, correct. So that will fit into this example. Let's read the provision. When the supply of the goods is made to a person other than registered person. I belongs to Rajasthan. I have made one Amazon account. Let's say it's Prime account. Very practical, try to understand. My Prime account I have at Amazon and I have given the address of Rajasthan, which will be used by my all family members. Whenever they need to deliver the fast, they will use that account only in Delhi. Now I'm in Delhi, but I'm using the same Amazon account having the address of Rajasthan only. So whenever Amazon will raise the tax invoice, it will be bill to location will be Rajasthan, right? Ship to can be other location. That was a confusion. What will happen in case of the B2C supply? Let's say I am purchasing from you, unregistered party. Then what will be the POS? Will the bill to ship to model will apply? Not apply, etc. There was a lot of confusion by which the new subsection has been inserted. Clause has been inserted. 10 subsection 1 clause CA. When the goods are being sold to unregistered person. When the goods are being sold to unregistered person, the POS shall, notwithstanding anything contrary contained in the clause A and the clause C. क्लॉज ए में या क्लॉज सी में कोई कॉन्ट्रेरी बात नहीं लिखी है, तो क्या कहता है कि इट विल बी द लोकेशन एज पर द एड्रेस ऑफ द सेड पर्सन recorded in the invoice issued in respect of said supply and the location of supplier where the said person is not recorded in the invoice. So very simple, अगर इनवॉइस पर जो एड्रेस लिखा है वही उसका पीओएस होगा. अगर इस पे कोई डिफरेंट एड्रेस लिख दिया तो वो एड्रेस होगा, बट अगर एड्रेस नहीं लिखा है तो लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर विल बी द पीओएस. लेट मी रिपीट वंस अगेन. In case of the B2C supply, this provision would be applicable. Point number 1. It is talking about notwithstanding anything contrary contained in clause A and the clause C. Clause A अगर कोई different बात बोलता है, clause C अगर different बात बोलता है, तो उसको override कर दिया जाएगा. Means, what is the clause A? Clause A simply says that कि the delivery location will be the POS, etc. Correct ना? So, in case of the B2C, the biggest challenge is it will be difficult to identify the delivery, etc. Then simply it says that location at the location which is written on the invoice, address on the invoice will be deemed to be the POS. If no address is written, then it will be treated the supplier location will be the POS. I will do some more discussion in the next class if time permit, but yes, for the time being, we have to leave. Explanation says that for the purpose of this clause, recording of the name of the state shall be deemed to be the recording of the address on the said invoice, said person. ये एक बहुत बड़ा point है. If you, when I will teach you the invoice accounts and record chapter, you will understand the requirement of the rule 46, where you have to give the complete address in some cases. Therefore, this explanation was made, inserted, that if you are recording the name of the state only, it will be deemed that you have written complete address. You are not required to write the complete address. Simply name of the state is sufficient. That state ka name would be deemed, the name of the state would be deemed that it will be the address of that said person. However, it has some permutation combination that we will discuss. Let me just allow me 1 minute. Just allow me 1 minute, sir. So there is some question in the 1 second. There is one question in the BOS portal also. Mr. Prashant is saying, trying to synchronize with your take note. Thank you. Oh, great. Thank you so much, Prashant, if you like the teaching. But I would also say, you are saying that there is a lag in the live streaming. It would be possible 1-2 minutes. So you may join the Zoom class also, because it is live on the Zoom. You can enjoy the discussion, ask the question also. When you ask the question at the same time, it will give the ample clarity. Frankly speaking, you will understand more better. Am I correct, Mr. Ojha, Hemant, and everyone? Kindly confirm. जब हम लाइव पढ़ते हैं, साथ में क्वेश्चन आंसर करते हैं, तो पढ़ने का मजा कुछ अलग है. करेक्ट? Instead of recording.
Excuse me, sir. Actually, I am a girl.
Sorry, you are Hemant.
I am Jeannie Oja.
Sorry, ma'am. Whatever, Ginny. Okay, miss. ठीक है. Thank you, बेटा. Thank you for rectifying me. तो okay. So अभी क्लियर हो रहा है ना बच्चा? मतलब सभी को क्लियर हो रहा है ना प्रोविजन जो हम बात कर रहे हैं? आयुष, एक बार डिस्कशन का बात करते हैं. आप सब लोग मेरे छोटे भाई बहन के समान ही हो. सब मेरे, मतलब वो कोई इश्यू नहीं है.
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Understood. So, I request everyone, अगर पॉसिबल है तो जूम में लाइव आइए. रिकॉर्डिंग आपके पास में है, पर मैं गारंटी दे सकता हूं, इफ यू join the live Zoom class, you will have the different level of understanding on the topic which we are discussing. Coming back to the discussion, and thank you, K. Prashant. So if possible, join the Zoom discussion. Mr. Jha has asked, bill to address in the invoice? If the invoice having any state ka name, that will be deemed to be the address. Correct. एक सर्कुलर का डिस्कशन करूंगा, देन यू विल हैव द मोर क्लैरिटी. बट ये सर्कुलर कल की क्लास के लिए मैं रखता हूं. दिस सर्कुलर आई विल डिस्कस, वेर इन आयुष द क्वेश्चन विच यू हैव आस्क्ड ना, लाइक अमेजॉन वाला, you will have the more clarity. Or let me share the another screen, you will understand. अभी बात कर लेते हैं, बेटर रहेगा. It will be better. This is the circular 209. This is the circular 209 which I am sharing on your screen. Just confirm, are you able to see that circular on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Fine, thank you. अभी हम क्या बात करें, 10(1) CA के रिगार्ड में एक सर्कुलर इशू हुआ है. 10(1) CA के रिगार्ड में डिपार्टमेंट ने एक सर्कुलर इशू किया. Now let's understand why they have issued the circular. Give some clarity. Try to understand the example. Mr. A, एक मिनट रुकिएगा, एक सेकेंड, मैं स्क्रीन पर. Mr. A, unregistered person located in state X, place an order on ECO. आयुष, आपका वाला एग्जाम्पल है, उसने राखी का ऑर्डर किया, लेट्स से, और सप्लाई द मोबाइल फोन, यहाँ पे मोबाइल आ गया, which is to be delivered at Y state. Mr. A, while placing the order on the ECO, provide the billing address of state X. Correct? In such a scenario, what would be the POS? Whether the state pertaining to the billing address, that is state X, or the state pertaining to the delivery. Try to understand, you will have the clarity. And ये स्पेसिफिकली बात ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर के लिए एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए ये बात और ये सर्कुलर इश्यू की है. व्हाट इज दैट? एज पर द प्रोविजन ऑफ 10(1)A. सो फाइन, आई एम नॉट रीडिंग. Accordingly, it is clarified in such case involving, read यार, complete read. 10(1) CA, where the supply of the goods made to unregistered party, the POS would be the location as per the address, and the location of supplier where the address is not recorded in the invoice. Further, as per the explanation, name of the state. So this is the provision which we have already discussed. Now it says that accordingly it is clarified that in such case involving supply the goods to an unregistered person where the address of delivery recorded on the invoice is different from the billing address of the said unregistered person, the POS, in accordance with the provision of CA, shall be the delivery address recorded on the invoice. That is state Y in the present case where the state delivery address is located. Also, in such case, involving supply of the goods to unregistered party, when the billing address and delivery address are different, the supplier may record the delivery address as per the address of the recipient on the invoice for the purpose of determining the POS. I hope it is clear. Let me again conclude the thing. 10(1) CA is made only for B2C transaction, point number 1. Point number 2, it override the 10(1) and 10(1) contrary अगर कोई बात कही गई है तो. Third, it is saying that whatever address is recorded on the invoice, that will be the POS. But fourth, considering the circular 209, if someone is placing the order on the Amazon, Flipkart, etc., any website, in that case, if the state address, the bill to address and ship to address are different, the POS will be considered as ship to address, not the bill to address. It required the clarity. तो इन्होंने क्या कहा, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई के लिए जो शिप टू का एड्रेस है दैट विल बी कंसिडर्ड. इज दैट क्लियर? एक बार कंफर्म करना. इज दैट क्लियर? Everyone is clear now? It is very, very important. I mean to say, because it is a new amendment and new circular clarifying the entire transaction. Let's move further. One second. Just allow me 1 minute. Just allow me 1 minute. And this PPT would be shared to you, to all the participants, rest to be sure. So I will give to the ICAI and ICAI will in turn upload the same. Fine. Now let's move to the next provision. So we have discussed the bill to ship to model. We have discussed the B2C transaction specifically. Now let's move further. 10(1)D. See, 10(1)D says that when the goods are assembled or installed at site. So what is the example? Let's say I am the manufacturing company of the plant and machinery. You are the company who need the plant and machinery. So I have delivered the plant and machinery, but you are saying, please arrange to install. So I have sent my team and installed at your factory. Let's say you are registered in Maharashtra, but you are having the factory in other state. So the location at which I am doing the installation work, that will be the POS. Perfectly okay. 10(1)E, it says that when the goods are supplied on the board a conveyance, such as vessel, aircraft, train, or motor vehicle, then what is the POS? Location at which goods are taken on board. That will be the POS. So for example, I am traveling from Delhi to, let's say, Maharashtra by train. And during the journey, I have purchased some toys for my kid. Then the location, let's say that location was Rajasthan. Okay, assume. So will the Rajasthan be place of supply? Answer is no. They are saying for the entire journey, the place of the supply would be the location at which goods are taken on board. Let's assume that this IRCTC, Indian Railway, has a centralized warehouse at Kanpur. Assume for the time being. So when all the trains which are going through Kanpur, all the goods are being loaded in the train at Kanpur. So for my entire journey, whatever goods I purchase, the place of the supply would always be Kanpur, irrespective whether I am registered or not, irrespective whether I have consumed or used that goods in the journey or I am taking the goods at my destination location, doesn't matter. Where I have picked the train, boarded the train, all are immaterial. The goods are loaded in the train. That location will be the place for the entire journey. For the entire journey, whatever the goods are being sold in the journey, during the journey, what the place of the supply would be, that.
Sir, when we are traveling on the train, sir,
Ha.
when we are traveling on the train, we place order on some food supplier.
Hmm.
And we mention that in this particular railway station, he is to supply the food.
Correct.
So is
Restaurant
that
is fine. Restaurant is a goods or services. Just tell me.
oh no, the restaurant may be Volte Visakhapatnam, but he is delivering. He has an office in Guntur, and he will supply the food at Guntur.
No problem. See, let's say we have placed the order at Zomato, Edu.
Ah, okay.
Correct, na? That is the correct example.
No,
So-
because I'm traveling, so I want to take that example. That fellow will serve the food at Guntur. So
Guntur.
will that be the place of supply? I will
Now
place.
Now the point is you are taking the food, right?
Yes, yes,
Food is the example of restaurants, correct?
yes.
And restaurant is not goods, restaurant is a service.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Therefore, it will not fall in this clause.
Oh, okay, understood, sir. Okay.
Yes, we have the different clause in section 12, wherein your example will fit. The services which are given on the train or board of the train, that will be the different place of supply. We will discuss over there.
Okay, sir.
Fine.
So it is basically for the goods, sir. This
It is
clause.
basically for the goods.
Okay,
Therefore,
sir.
I have taken the example of toys, playing cards, etc. Okay. Now, let's move to the section 11. What is the difference between 10 and 11? Let's do the revision of 5 minutes. What time ho gaya padhte hue? Let's do the revision for 5 minutes. Then we'll start the section 12. We have 7:56. We will start the 8 or 8:05. Okay. Now start. Ayush, answer is yes. Whatever the question you ask, answer is yes. Start. In the place of the supply chapter, are we reading the all provision of IGST Act or CGST Act or both? Give the answer in the chat box so that I can see the answer, all answer. Most of the provisions are CGST Act or IGST Act or both. The answer is most of the provisions are IGST. Most of the provisions are IGST. 7, 8. So to decide interstate supply or intrastate supply, which two location to be looked into? Which two location is to be considered for inter or intra? वो कौन से दो लोकेशन हैं जिसको देखकर I have to see and decide whether it is inter or intrastate supply? Absolutely correct. The supplier and place of supply. Location of supplier and place of supply. If I am making the goods, if I am making the supply of the goods or services to SEZ unit, supplier and SEZ both are in same state. Will it inter or intra? Always, or it may be changed. Supply to SEZ will always be interstate or it can be changed. Answer is yes. It will always be interstate. It will always be interstate. Very nice, yeah, very nice. In the build to ship to model, what will be the place of supply? In the build to ship to model, what will be the place of the supply? Delivery location or billing location? The place of the supply would be the billing. Now, if it is B2C, I use coming. If it is B2C, then what would be the place of the supply if it is not online? If it is not online, let's say, what is the place of the supply normally in case of the B2C supply, which we can say the over the counter is the perfect example. Over the counter is the perfect example. What will be the place of supply in case of B2C? New provision. If I have sold the goods over the counter to unregistered party, what address what will be the place of supply? The address recorded on the invoice. Address recorded on the invoice. Address recorded on the invoice. And if it is online and billing address, shipping address are different. My billing address and shipping address are different. Transaction is happen on online e-commerce operator. And if it is B2C, what will be the POS? What will be the POS? 10.1 CA. 10 subsection 1 clause CA. Absolutely correct. What will be the POS? Answer is, will it be billing address or will it be shipping address, delivery address? If billing address, let me repeat, if billing address and shipping address both are recorded on the invoice in case of e-commerce transaction, what would be the POS? Billing location or shipping location? The answer would be the answer would be shipping location as per circular which we have talked about. As per circular which we have discussed, 209 Genie Oja. Clear? So the circular says that it will be the shipping address. Shipping address will be, you will consider the place of the supply. Tell me, I am in India, you are in India, and you are organizing one office function in UK. You have hired me as an event management service. I am giving the event management service at UK. Will I apply section 12 to decide the POS or 13 to decide the POS? Very nice. Answer is section 12. Answer is section 12, sir. Both are in India, irrespective of where you have rendered the service. Immaterial. It is immaterial. Which section are for goods to decide the POS and which section are services to decide the POS? Just allow me one. Students, kindly allow me 5 minutes. अजीत जी, एक बार 5 मिनट का ब्रेक स्टार्ट कर दीजिए. जस्ट अलाउ मी 5 मिनट.
श्योर सर. अशोक जी.
Difference between 10 and 11. Tell me, what is the difference between 10 and 11? What is the difference between 10 and 11? Absolutely correct. 10 is for domestic supply and 11 for export import. What about difference between 12 and 13? Last question. What is the difference between 12 and 13? What is the difference between 12 and 13? सेक्शन 12 एंड सेक्शन 13 में डिफरेंस क्या है? Waiting for your answer. Twelve and 13 both are services, but what is the difference between 12 and 13? Can we say 12 is for domestic and 13 for export import? Can we say that 12 is for domestic service and 12 and 13 is for export import service? Very nice, Miss Ginny. Very nice. Answer is no, we can't say. Why we can't say? Till the time you have the POS in your hand, you can't say it is export or import. So before POS, you can't say that transaction is export or import. So what is the difference between 12 and 13? 12 is to be applied when LOR and LOS, supplier and recipient, both are in India. And 13 would be applied when LOS or LOR, anyone is outside India. Let's move. The question comes, how we can decide domestic, then same question comes for goods. If you are saying that we can't say for services whether it is export import before deciding the POS, then how can we say that export import in case of the goods without deciding the POS? मेरा पॉइंट क्या समझिएगा कि मैं सर्विस एक्सपोर्ट है या इंपोर्ट तब तक डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता जब तक पीओएस नहीं हो मेरे हाथ में. एंड देयरफॉर यू कांट से कि 13 वुड बी फॉर एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट. बट गुड्स के केस में तो मैंने ये यूज किया कि एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट है 11 और डोमेस्टिक है 10. तो ये कैसे पॉसिबल है? क्या बिना पीओएस के मैं ये डिसाइड कर सकता हूं कि गुड्स मेरा एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट है या डोमेस्टिक? आंसर इज यस. अगर आप एक्सपोर्ट की डेफिनेशन में जाओगे फॉर गुड्स, इट सिंपली सेज दैट फिजिकल मूवमेंट इज फ्रॉम इंडिया टू आउट ऑफ इंडिया. अगर आप इंपोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स की डेफिनेशन में जाओगे तो इट सेज दैट गुड्स आर कमिंग फ्रॉम आउट ऑफ इंडिया टू इंडिया. इट मींस in case of the export or import of the goods, only physical movement is important, and therefore before deciding the POS we can say that transaction is export or import or domestic. ये बात हम सर्विस के केस में नहीं बोल सकते क्योंकि सर्विस के केस में एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस की 5 कंडीशन है, इंपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस की 3 कंडीशन है. Therefore in my view ये इसका डिफरेंशिएशन है, ये इसका रीजनिंग है. चलो सर आगे बढ़ते हैं. सेक्शन 11 क्या कहता है? 11 is saying if I am importing the goods, then LOS. If I am importing the goods, then importer will be the place of the supply. Location of importer would be. If I am exporting the goods, location outside India would be the POS. The location outside India would be the POS. If I'm exporting, if I'm importing, so my location would be the POS. And what is the definition of import of the goods, export of the goods? I have already explained. Now let's move to the very, very important service. Most of the time, the doubt would be with respect to service only. Now understand the order how you will apply section 12. Now, in the section 12, there is a total 14 subsection, 1-4. Section 12, subsection 2, it says that check your transaction. Let's say I am talking about the transportation of goods का transaction है, service for transportation of goods. Let's say transportation of passenger का service का transaction है, and you need to, let's say I am Indigo or I am Air India. Now what I am providing? I am providing the transportation of passenger service. How to decide the POS? Section 12 says that first check whether your actual transaction are being covered in the specific one or not. What is the specific one? Subsection 3 to subsection 14. A specific provision are given, like what is the place of the supply for immovable property, what is the place of the supply for banking, what is the place of the supply for insurance, what is the place of the supply for event, what is the place of the supply for restaurant, etc., housekeeping, like catering services, what is the place of the supply for advertisement. Meaning thereby, try to understand this point. Subsection 3 to subsection 14, there are specific provision. If your transaction are covered in the specific one, then you will apply the specific one and then come to your answer. Like for example, immovable property. It says that the place of the supply would be the location of property. Answer मिल गया मेरे को. Similarly, like in case of the event, they are saying location of event would be the place of supply. Suppose मैं आपको event की सर्विस दे रहा हूं, तो event जहां पे हो रहा है that will be the POS. मुझे आंसर मिल गया. But क्या सर्विसेज सिर्फ 12 तरह की हो सकती है? Can the services be only of 12 category? Tell me. They have made the total 14 subsection, out of which 3 to 14 are covering a specific category of the service. Transportation goods are there, transportation service are there, passenger transportation service are there. क्या सर्विसेज सिर्फ 12 कैटेगरी की है? Only to answer is no. Therefore, 12 subsection 2 says if your actual nature of transaction are not covered in 3 to 14, then you will apply basic principle to determine the POS. What is the basic principle? I have explained through chart. Basic principle is very, very simple. If the supply is B2B, registered party, then location of that recipient. If it is unregistered and his address is recorded in the invoice, then again it will be that address. And in any other case, it will be the location of supplier. मैं एक बार entire discussion I will repeat. Entire discussion I will repeat. Whatever we have discussed. 12 subsection 2 says, when you will apply the general principle, if the transaction are not covered between subsection 3 to subsection 14. If it is being covered, then what will be the place of supply? According to the respective principle. Now, if it is not covered in the subsection 3 to subsection 14, then you will apply the general principle. What is the general principle? General principle is easy, very simple. If it is a B2B, then location of recipient. If it is a B2C, it means unregistered customer. Then whether you have the address, if yes, then again the location of the address will be the POS. If you do not have any address and customer is also B2C, then you treat your location as POS. Is that clear? एक बार confirm करो, is that clear? कंफर्म करना. इज दैट क्लियर? Let me ask one question. You all give me the answer when I will apply the general principle. You write in the chat. It might take 1 or 2 minutes, but please give me the answer when I will apply the general principle. When I will apply the section 12 subsection 2 to decide the POS. Very nice, Mansa. Very nice, Hemant. Absolutely correct. Everyone need to give the answer when I will apply the general principle. When I will apply the general principle. Ayush, Oja, Poonam, Vignesh, everyone, please give the answer when I will apply the general principle to determine the POS in case of section 12. The answer would be, if your actual transactions are not covered in subsection 3 to subsection 14, specific में cover नहीं हो रहा, तब आपको general. And what is the rule for general? If it is B2B, then what is the place of supply? If it is B2B, then what is the place of supply? In case of the general principle, what will be the place of supply? Assume that service is given by chartered accountant to its client is not covered in the specific one. Then what will be the place of supply? If it is B2B, then location of recipient. Absolutely correct. And if it is B2C, then अगर B2B है तो आपने बोला location of recipient. If it is B2C, then location of, yes. Then you need to check whether supplier has the address or not. If address है तो again location of recipient. If address is not there, then location of supplier. Absolutely correct. Now let's talk about one by one. Section 12 subsection 3 is talking about immovable property. So they are saying directly in relation to an immovable property, including service provided by architect, interior decorator, surveyor, engineer, the related expert. Then what is the location? What is the place of supply? The location at which the property is located. Or why they are saying intended to be located if it is like under construction. Why they are saying intended to be located? Because if it is under construction, then it will be intended to be located. Then they are saying location, lodging accommodation in the hotel, in guest house, club, campus site, by whatever name called, accommodation in the immovable property for organizing the marriage reception or any ancillary services. So it is the location of immovable property or boat or vessel, because we know that some boats are also providing the accommodation services, right? Then that boat, whether it is movable or fixed, doesn't matter. Both are covered in the 12 subsection 3. Place of the supply will be decided the location of the property or the boat or the vessel. Very interesting thing. Try to understand this point. At some provision, we are talking about 12.3 to 12.14. We will not be able to cover all provisions today. No problem. Whenever you read the specific subsection 12.3, 4, 5, 6, you will find at some place this explanation. Some sort of the explanation. याद रखना, this explanation is to be applied for those provision where it has been given. आप अपना लॉजिक कभी अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे टू डिटरमाइन द POS. आप लॉजिक अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे जब तक आपकी चीज जो आप कहना चाहते हैं दैट इज बीइंग रिटन इन द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई प्रोविजन. क्यों मैं कहना चाहता हूं? लेट्स से what is this explanation? It says that if the property or boat or etc. is located in more than one state, then it will be treated that service has been given each of the respective state. proportion to the value separately determined in terms of the contract or agreement. So what it says that suppose I am providing the hotel accommodation service. My one hotel is located in Maharashtra, my one hotel is located in Delhi, my one hotel is located in Bangalore. Your team member are staying in all the three hotels, and I am raising the invoice from Delhi, let's to Maharashtra. Say Maharashtra. You are located in Maharashtra. Answer is, will the place of the supply be one location or it has to be a portion? Answer is, because the explanation says that if the hotel, boat or vessel, matlab immovable property or the boat or vessel is located in more than one state, it has to be a portion. And therefore, I will apportion the total value. Say, let's say we have fixed that total 7 night, I will charge 70,000 to you. The 70,000, do I need to apportion? Answer is yes, because it explanation says so. ठीक है, मैं repeat कर रहा हूं because at some places I will talk this point, then you will understand the importance of explanation. अभी ये क्या कह रहा है? Provided that if the location of movable property or boat is located or intended to be located, the place of the shall be the location of recipient. If the location of a movable property or the boat or the vessel is located or intended to be located outside India, matlab, I have given the example, you have the one property in London. I am providing some service related to property. What would be the POS? The place of the supply will be the location of property? No, sir. It will be the location of recipient. Correct. Now, they have given the rule 4. That for explanation, they have given the rule 4. They are saying, in case the immovable property or the boat or vessel is located in more than one state, then it says, let me highlight one word, sir. Let me highlight one word and then understand why I need to read the rule 4. What is the meaning? See, if you have the contract or agreement in this regard, what was the point? We are discussing when the boat or vessel or property are located in more than one state and you are charging single amount. I am charging 70,000. Let's say 1 lakh to you. How to apportion in 3 state? Its explanation says that it will be apportioned according to the contract or agreement. Assume that there is no contract. Then, in the absence of the contract, on such other basis as may be prescribed. Whenever the word prescribed is there, it means you have to refer the rule. The CBIC government will give the rule to decide that which method would be applied. See, for example, I am saying that your staff has stayed in 3 different hotels, 3 different states. I am charging consolidated amount of rupees 1 lakh. How it will be apportioned? They are saying according to the contract. But if contract is silent, then, or we do not have any contract, then they are saying, and in other basis as may be prescribed. Where it is being prescribed? It is being prescribed in the rule 4 of IGST. What it says? It simply says that it is a lodging accommodation in a hotel in guest house. Then it will be a portion number of the night stay in the property. Let's say your staff has stayed 3 days in the Mumbai, 2 days in Delhi and 1 day in Bangalore. Then total value will be divided in 3:2:1. If the in relation to immovable property, by way of the accommodation for organizing any marriage or reception, and in case supply the accommodation in the hotel by whatever name called, such property is a single property. Now say property is single, but it is covered in 2 states. Let's say I have one hotel which is some part are covered in UP, some part are covered in Bihar, because I am having the property on the border. Then in that case, how it will be apportioned? Then they are saying shall be treated as made in the respective state in the proportion to the area. First, when the property are separated, then I am saying a portion in the number of the night stay. But the property are single, then in the area. And if it is a houseboat or vessel, because it is movable, how can we decide that it is in Kerala, Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, whatever? Declaration made by the service provider. Whatever he will declare, we will assume based on the declaration, will provide the apportionment. He says that will have stayed in 2 days in Kerala and 1 day in Tamil Nadu. Then the ratio will be 2:1. Okay, 3 example has been given. Whatever I've explained, that has been given in the example. So abhi logic sirf right answer. So now quickly give me the answer. If the property is located in India, then what is the place of the supply? If the service is in the nature of the immovable property, in relation to an immovable property, what is the place of supply? एक बार आंसर करें. We are revising the 12 subsection 3. We are revising the 12 subsection 3. If the service is related to immovable property, what is the place of supply? क्या हुआ? No one is giving the answer. You and me I am providing the service to you, and that service is with respect to immovable property. What is the place of supply? The location of property. What is the place of supply? Location of property. And if the property is situated out of India, then if the property is situated out of India, then अगर वो प्रॉपर्टी इंडिया के बाहर है तो क्या होगा प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई? मैं एक बार रिवाइज करवा देता हूं. आई होप इट इज नॉट टू मच क्लियर. मैं आपको वापस पूरा रिवाइज करवा देता हूं. 12 subsection 3 says that if the service is related to immovable property, hotel in guest house, boat or vessel, then what is the place of the supply? Location of the property. Ex proviso says if that property is located out of India, then what is the place of the supply? LOR would be the place of supply. Next point says, explanation says, if the property are in more than one state, then 2 point. If you have the agreement, divide as per the agreement. Whatever the agreement says, divide according to that. If the agreement is silent, then divide as per the rule 4. What is the rule 4? It says that if it is a multiple property, according to the number of stay. If it is a single property, area. And if it is a houseboat, then declaration given by the service provider. That is property related. Now let's move to the 12 subsection 4, 12 subsection 5 and 12 subsection 6. 4 is talking about restaurant, catering services, personal grooming, fitness, beauty treatment. Then it will be the place of the supply shall be the location where the service are actually performed. See, I am going to the restaurant, eating the food. Then the location of the restaurant will be the place of the supply. Suppose they are delivering to my home, then my home will be the place of the supply. If it is a training and performance appraisal, then what is the place of the supply? In case of the registered recipient, LOR. In case of the unregistered, the location where the services are actually performed. Assume that I am providing the training not online. Let's say it is a physical. I am from Delhi coming to Noida. ICAI has the center, big center. Coming to Noida and providing the training to you. If you are registered, then what will be the place of supply? If you are registered in Maharashtra, then what would be the place of supply? Let's say ICAI is charging 100 rupees for this particular class. If ICAI is charging 100 rupees, let's say, then ICAI has to decide the place of supply. If it is B2B, then location of recipient. If it is B2C, then location at which training is being conducted. then in that case, it will be the Noida, UP. Subsection 6. Place of the supply of service by way of admission to the cultural, artistic, sports event, scientific event, educational event, entertainment event, amusement park, or any other place. 12 subsection 6 is talking about admission. And when I will go to the next page, 12 subsection talking about same event, but that is being talking about organization of an event. What is the difference between 6 and 7? 6 is admission. Let's say I purchase one ticket for entering into the IPL match. I like to see the sports match. So the event organizer is issuing that ticket to me. What is the nature of that transaction? The nature of the transaction is admission to that event. How the place of the supply would be decided? According to 12.6. What is the place of the supply? Simple one-line answer, where the event is being located, where the event is held or park or other place is located. अगर event कलकत्ता में हो रहा है तो place of supply कलकत्ता है. Event महाराष्ट्र में हो रहा है तो place of the supply महाराष्ट्र है. Whether it is B2B or B2C, no problem. In which case, please note, I am talking about admission to the event. If it is an organization to the event, answer would change. Now try to understand. Organization to the event, let's say BCCI has given the contract to XYZ Limited to organize all IPL match. So that XYZ Limited is organizing the match in Rajasthan, in Calcutta, in Maharashtra, in Bangalore, all the places. So for which XYZ is raising the invoice to BCCI. Now try to understand. You will find one interesting thing. The place of the supply the service provided by way of organization of cultural, artistic, sports event, scientific event, educational, entertainment, including the supply the service in relation to conference, fair, exhibition, celebration, or similar event. Service ancillary to the organization of the event or assigning of sponsorship to such event to a registered party shall be the location. To a person other than registered, it means B2C, shall be the place where the event is actually held. And if the event is outside India, place of the supply shall be the location of recipient. एक बात बताइए. If the event is held outside India, then place of the supply would be LOR. This similar type of the discussion we had in any one more provision. अभी हमने किसी प्रोविजन में बात किया था सेम कि अगर वो चीज इंडिया के बाहर है तो प्लेस ऑफ द सप्लाई विल बिकम LOR. कैन यू टेल मी इन विच कैटेगरी ऑफ द ट्रांजेक्शन वी हैव डिस्कस्ड दिस पार्ट? We have discussed place of the supply for restaurant, catering services, training, performance appraisal, admission, multiple things we have discussed. Can you tell me that similar point where we have discussed that if something is outside India, then the place of the supply will be LOR? क्या हो गया सब? हाँ, wow, correct. Very nice. No, Mansa. Absolutely correct, Ginny, Oja, and Hemant. Absolutely correct. 12 subsection 3, in case of immovable property, if the property is located out of India, then place of the supply will be location of recipient. Correct? Eh? Tell me one thing, sir. Tell me one thing. They are saying if it is a registered person, so XYZ Limited is raising the bill to BCCI, which is also registered party, then what will be the place of the supply? let's say BCCI registered in Maharashtra and XYZ is registered in Delhi location. What would be the PS? If it is a registered party, then shall be the location of that person. What is the explanation? If the event is held in more than one state or union territory and consolidated amount is charged, then POS will be each of the respective state and in proportion to the value of the service separately determined as per the contract or agreement. So what does it means? If I'm charging the single amount, then I have to apportion in each of the state. Fine. I have to apportion in each of the respective state. How I will apportion? Use the contract. If the contract is silent, then use the contract. If the contract is silent, then such other basis as may be prescribed. If it is word prescribed is written, then what does it means? What does it means? अगर prescribed लिख दिया तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ?
Rule check करना.
Absolutely correct. I need to check the rules. And what is the rule has been given? The rule says, now read the rule and you will find very, very interesting things. What it is written, when the service are supplied to a person other than registered, it means B2C. What is the meaning? Meaning thereby, you need to follow the rule only when if it is a B2B transaction or B2C transaction. It is other than registered person. Event is held in India in more than one state. Consolidated amount of charge shall be taken each of the respective state and shall be determined as per general accounting principle. So they are not saying any base. They are saying you will decide, you will apportion according to the general accepted accounting principle. What is that? It will be, suppose they have given the example. Suppose IM XYZ Limited is an event management company organizing the IPL match in state 1, state 2 to the BCCI. 3 events are being organized in state 1 and 2 IPL match are being organized in state 2. Then it will be this. It will be a portion. They are charging the consolidated amount, let's say 10 lakh rupees. The place of the supply will be in the ratios of okay, sorry. 3 events are in state 1 and 2 events are in state 2. I'm sorry. 3 IPL match is being organized, let's say in Maharashtra. 2 IPL match is being organized in Bangalore. Then it will be a portion in the ratios of 3:2. 3:2. Let's go back. Try to understand. I'm asking one very important question, very important point, which is to be looked very seriously. I am XYZ Limited, registered in Bangalore. You are BCCI, registered in Maharashtra. You have given the task to organize 3 match in, let's say, Maharashtra, 2 match in Bangalore. I'm organizing only 5 match. When I will raise the bill to you, will I apportion in the ratio of 3:2 or not? जब मैं आपको bill raise करूंगा, will I do the apportionment or not? Tell me. I hope point is clear to all. When XYZ Limited is raising the invoice to BCCI Limited for organizing 3 match in state 1, 2 match in state 2, they are charging consolidated amount of rupees 10 lakh. Then will 10 lakh ka place of supply be Maharashtra or it will be a portion in 3:2? Will it be a portion in 3:2 or it will be only Maharashtra? Answer is only Maharashtra. You will not apply the apportionment logic. Why you will not apply the apportionment logic? Because see, the rule are saying you can use to me only when it is a B2C transaction. It means if it is a B2B transaction, you will not apportion. You will apply the clause 1. It says that it will be the location of that person if it is a B2B. And if it is a B2C, then location of the event. And if the event is held in more than one state, it will be apportioned as per the accounting principle. Is that clear?
Sir, can you please repeat once again the last one, this rule you have explained?
See, point number 1. Let me repeat provision once again. 12 subsection 7 says that if the transaction ka nature is organization of event, then it will be applied. If it is B2B, then always location of the recipient, whether it is in one state or whether it is in multiple state, you will not apportion. If it is a B2C, then the location of the event will be the place of supply. But if it is held in more than one state, then you will apply the rule. What is the rule? Rule says that you will apply according to the general accepted accounting principle. Indian, whatever we are using the accounting principle. So what is the accounting principle? Normally we can say number of the event I can divide it. So if the 3 events are held in one state, 2 events are held in second state, I will apportion in the 3:2. Suppose event organizer is charging 10 lakh rupees for 5 events. 3 events are held in S1, 2 events are held in state 2. Then क्या बना ratio हमारा? What is the ratio? 3:2.
Yes, sir.
तो 3:2 में 10 लाख रुपए डिवाइड कर देंगे. So 6 lakh will be the for state 1, 4 lakh would be the state 2. So when he is raising the bill, 6 lakh का place of supply S1 होगा, 4 lakh का place of the supply S2 होगा. रिसिपेंट भली एक ही स्टेट में अगर अनरजिस्टर्ड है तो. ठीक है, क्लियर हुआ?
Yes, sir.
अब हम आते हैं 12 subsection 8 place of supply for transportation of goods. It's very simple. Earlier there was a problem. Let me talk about. Read the provision. Clause A says that if it is a registered person, location of that person. And you tell me, read the clause B, give me the answer. A person other than registered person, then shall be the location at which goods are handed over for their transportation. So suppose picking location is, मुझे 2-3 क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिएगा. Blue Dart is a courier company, is providing the service of transporting the goods to XYZ Limited. ठीक है. Assume that XYZ Limited is registered in Maharashtra. ठीक है. Goods are being picked from Rajasthan. Goods are being picked from Rajasthan and goods are being delivered at Delhi location. When Blue Dart will raise the invoice to XYZ Limited, place of supply क्या होगा? महाराष्ट्र, राजस्थान या दिल्ली? Give me the answer in the chat along with reason. Okay. Hemant has given the answer. Absolutely correct. Hemant, absolutely correct. Any other answer? मैं रिपीट करता हूं क्वेश्चन. Blue Dart is a courier company picking the goods of XYZ Limited, making the delivery of the goods to its customer. So goods are being picked from Rajasthan and delivered to Delhi, raising the bill to the XYZ who is registered in Maharashtra. DST में registered है महाराष्ट्र में. When Blue Dart is raising the bill to XYZ Limited, which location will be the POS? Will it be Maharashtra? Will it be Rajasthan or will it be Delhi? The answer would be Maharashtra because it is a registered person, then the location of that person. Now let's say Blue Dart is picking the goods of XYZ from Rajasthan, delivering to Delhi. Assume that XYZ is unregistered person. XYZ is from Maharashtra only, but he is unregistered person. So Blue Dart is giving the address of Maharashtra on the invoice. Goods are being picked from Rajasthan, delivered to Delhi. Blue Dart is raising the tax invoice to XYZ Maharashtra, but unregistered person. Tell me, what is the place of supply? एक बार मैं हेमंत एंड ऑल आई एम सेइंग, मैं अंडरलाइन कर रहा हूं एक वर्ड, एक लाइन अंडरलाइन कर रहा हूं, क्या इसके बाद आपका आंसर चेंज होगा क्या? जस्ट आई एम अंडरलाइनिंग वन वर्ड. मैं कुछ वर्ड को अंडरलाइन कर रहा हूं, क्या इसके बाद आपका आंसर चेंज होगा? यू हैव गिवन वन आंसर. एक बार वापस देखिए ना, मैंने कुछ अंडरलाइन किया है, क्या इस अंडरलाइन के बाद में आपका कुछ आंसर चेंज होगा क्या? क्या आंसर होगा? व्हाट विल बी द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई? What is the place of supply, sir? Again, let me talk about. Bill are raised to XYZ Limited, Maharashtra. Goods have been picked from Rajasthan, delivered to Delhi. Goods has been picked from Rajasthan and delivered to Delhi. Tell me, what is the location at which goods are being handed over to the transporter? XYZ ने गुड्स कौन से लोकेशन पर हैंड ओवर किया था? इट इज राजस्थान. हैंड ओवर टू द कस्टमर नहीं सर, हैंड ओवर टू द ट्रांसपोर्टर फॉर their transportation. Hand over to the transporter for their transportation. It means they are talking about picking location, not talking about the delivery location. समझिएगा, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन है. At which goods are handed over for their transportation. तो आप बताइए ब्लू डार्ट को गुड्स कौन सी लोकेशन पर हैंड ओवर किया फॉर देयर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन? ऑब्वियसली पिकिंग लोकेशन ना, राजस्थान. So the answer would be Rajasthan. Now the last 12 subsection 9, passenger transportation service. Same. In the last we have talked about goods, and in this we are talking about passenger. In case of passenger transportation service, if it is a registered person, then the location of that person. If it is unregistered, then वहां पे क्या बताया था? जहां पे गुड्स हैंडओवर किया टू द ट्रांसपोर्टर. यहाँ पे क्या है? जहां पे पैसेंजर को हैंडओवर किया फॉर द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. वेरी सिंपल. पैसेंजर embark ऑन द कन्वेंस. स्टार्टिंग लोकेशन की एंडिंग लोकेशन? स्टार्टिंग लोकेशन की एंडिंग लोकेशन? स्टार्टिंग लोकेशन या एंडिंग लोकेशन? स्टार्टिंग लोकेशन. गुड्स में क्या था? पिकिंग लोकेशन था कि डिलीवरी लोकेशन था? गुड्स में क्या था? पिकिंग लोकेशन, राइट? बोथ आर सेम ना. जहां से पैसेंजर बैठा है या जहां से गुड्स बैठा है, द लोकेशन एट विच गुड्स हैज बीन हैंडेड ओवर और पैसेंजर हैज बीन टेकन द मतलब embarking the conveyance for a continuous journey. So I can say 12.8 and 12.9 both are same. Both are same. Correct. It says that proviso says that when right to passage is given for future use and the point of embarkation is not known at the time of the right of pass, हम कई बार पास बनाते हैं ना, मंथली पास etc. Then place of the supply shall be determined in accordance with the subsection 2. क्या मतलब हुआ? You have purchased the pass from me. I have issued the monthly pass to you. I don't know that what is the location, starting and ending location. What will be the place of supply? They are saying the place of the supply in accordance with the subsection 2, matlab general principle, matlab basic principle. Can you please tell me, and it is a revision point also, if it is a B2C, place of supply क्या होगा according to the general principle? If it is a B2C, तो place of supply क्या होगा according to general principle? Answer is in front of you. Read and give the answer in the chat. Very simple question. If it is B2C, according to general principle, what is the place of the supply? Yes, Hemant, Mansha, both are correct. You are saying that if the address is available in the record, then if address is available in the record, then LOR. If address is not available, then LOS. आज हमने क्या कर लिया? We have completed the 12 subsection 8, 12 subsection 9. Last, service on the board A conveyance. If the service has been given on the board A conveyance, then the vessel, aircraft, train, etc., then the first schedule point of the departure of that conveyance. I hope you have received your answer. Hemant, you have asked the question, right? Who has asked the question? I'm not sure whether Ayush was there, Hemant, Mansa, I'm not sure. I'm not remember the name, but someone has asked the question if the food has been delivered at Guntur or something. Because it is a restaurant service, correct? Na? It is a restaurant services on the board A conveyance. Then what is the answer? First schedule point of the departure of that conveyance. First schedule point of the departure of that conveyance. So, is it clear? Let me frame one question to all. I will take 5 minutes. I will take 5 minutes. Let me frame one question to all. Okay. Now try to give me the answer. Try to give me the answer. I am framing one question. Mr. एक second. Mr. A. This example cover multiple things. I can assure you, multiple things. Mr. A is registered in Rajasthan. Mr. A is registered in Rajasthan. Okay. He has taken the ticket from Delhi to Maharashtra, traveling through IRCTC. He is registered in Rajasthan. He is starting the journey from Delhi, boarded the train at Delhi. So question number 1, when IRCTC raised the invoice for passenger transportation service, what would be the place of supply? Nature of transaction is clear na, passenger transportation service. What will be the place of supply? Very nice, Aman. Appreciated, yeah. बहुत बढ़िया. What will be the place of supply? What will be the place of the supply? Answer is Rajasthan. Absolutely correct. Rajasthan. Why Rajasthan? Why Rajasthan? Because he is registered in Rajasthan. Chalo, go back to the passenger transportation service. Go back to the passenger transportation. What is written? The registered person है तो location of that person. कहां से कहां travel कर रहा है? Immaterial. This person if registered है तो it is immaterial from where he is starting that journey and from where at which location he is ending the journey. Immaterial. He is registered in Rajasthan, therefore the location, place of supply would always be Rajasthan. ठीक है. Second, same. Assume that The IRCTC has centralized warehouse at Kanpur. That Mr. A is taking the certain goods in Madhya Pradesh, taking the goods at Madhya Pradesh, and consuming the goods in Maharashtra. Now tell me, what is the place of supply for goods? What is the place of supply for goods? The answer is Madhya Pradesh, Kanpur, Maharashtra, Rajasthan. Which section I will apply to determine the place of supply for this transaction? Can anybody tell me which section I will apply to determine the place of supply in this transaction? Can I say 10-1E? My request to all, Mansa, Ocha, everyone, is it covered in this clause? The question which I have asked, whether it is covered in this clause. Goods are supplied on the board a conveyance, vessel, aircraft, train, or motor vehicle. What is the place of supply? Location at which such goods are taken by the consumer? No, sir. Goods are taken on board. It means the location at which the goods has been, taken on board, taken on train, that is Kanpur. So question number 2 का place of supply क्या होगा? UP. Question number 3. Let's say some services has also been taken at UP. Some services has also been taken at UP. What will be the place of supply of that service? Last question. Service on the board a conveyance. What will be the place of the supply? Will it be Rajasthan? Will it be Delhi? Will it be UP? Or will it be Maharashtra? The answer is C. You see the question and then give me the answer. You see the provision and then give me the answer. Assuming train is being starting from Delhi location. So what would be the answer? First schedule point of the departure of that conveyance, not passenger, conveyance. Assuming the train is being starting from Delhi, so Delhi would be the place of the supply for entire service being rendered in the board conveyance. Is it clear? I hope it is clear. My one request to all, before coming to the next class tomorrow at 6, my humble request that please do the revision, because section 13 is nothing but the copy paste of this particular section 12. कल हम discussion कम करेंगे, revision ज्यादा करेंगे. We'll try to have circular, we'll try to have some case study if time permit. But one condition is there, whatever we have discussed today, please do the revision tomorrow. एक बार आप रिवीजन जरूर कर लेना, अदरवाइज क्या होगा, कल की क्लास का इतना बढ़िया आउटपुट नहीं आएगा. इज इट क्लियर टू ऑल? एंड हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट, एक बार आप रिवीजन जरूर करना एंड आई कैन एश्योर यू ऑल विल एंजॉय द क्लास कंपेयर टू टुडे. जितना मजा क्लास में आज आया ना, उसके कंपेयर में कई गुना ज्यादा कल मजा आएगा अगर आप लोग आज रिवीजन कर लें. कितना रिवीजन करना है? मात्र सेक्शन 10 के 5 या 6 प्रोविजन और सेक्शन 12 के नो प्रोविजन. दैट्स इट. प्लीज डू दिस कमिटमेंट. आई कैन एश्योर यू द प्लेस ऑफ द सप्लाई विल बी वेरी वेरी सिंपल टू ऑल. प्लेस ऑफ द सप्लाई वेरी वेरी सिंपल टू ऑल. लास्ट क्वेश्चन, एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ द गुड्स के लिए कितनी कंडीशंस है? How, when the goods will be export to, when the goods will be considered as export, goods का export के लिए कितना condition है? What is the definition of export of the goods? Export of goods के लिए कितनी condition है? एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स के लिए कितनी कंडीशन है? दिस इज लास्ट पॉइंट. ओनली वन कंडीशन. Only one condition. What is that? Only one condition. What is that? Physical movement from India to out of India. That's it. Physical movement is from India to out of India. It is being defined in Section 2, Clause 5 of IGST Act. It is not in Section 11. Section 11 is saying what is the POS. But currently I am talking about what is the export of the goods. Export of the goods define है जीएसटी में, simply बोल रहा है इंडिया से out of India. That's it. So thank you very much for joining the live class. Make sure you convey to your friend, convey to your groups, so that maximum people can join and will enjoy the live discussion a lot. अगर यहाँ पे 7 की जगह 70 participant होंगे ना, we will have the good discussion, very much interactive discussion, which will remember always. Am I right? तो एक बार आप कोशिश करना कि जितने भी आप पार्टिसिपेंट को ऐड कर पाओ ना, तो आप ऐड कीजिए, तो मजा अलग आएगा क्लास का. बट ठीक है, फिर भी हम अपनी तरफ से बेस्ट कोशिश करेंगे. ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच. गुड नाइट टू ऑल ऑफ यू. विल मीट टुमारो एट 6. मेक श्योर यू अटेंड द क्लास. गुड बाय एंड रिवाइज द डिस्कशन वट एवर वी हैड टूडे. थैंक यू. अशोक जी, अजीत जी, हाँ, सेशन ओवर. थैंक यू.